You just poured an absolutely perfect batch of concrete. The mix is right, the slump is flawless, and the finishing is smooth. But 28 days later, the testing lab calls you with devastating news. Your test cylinders completely failed. The project is halted, the structural engineers are furious, and it is going to cost your company thousands of dollars in delays. Why did this happen? Because you probably destroyed those samples before they ever even left the job site. Today, we are putting an end to that completely. Welcome back to Certified MTP, your ultimate resource for material testing equipment and field logistics. I am here to tell you that the most dangerous part of a concrete cylinder's life is not the compression machine in the lab. It is the ride in the back of your pickup truck. Concrete test cylinders are incredibly fragile during the first 24 to 48 hours of their life. While they might look solid to the naked eye, the internal hydration process is still in its infancy. The chemical bonds forming inside that cylinder are microscopic and incredibly weak. When you toss those cylinders carelessly into the bed of a truck, let them roll around or expose them to massive temperature swings, you are creating invisible microfractures inside the sample. These microfractures will not show up until the lab puts them under pressure. At that point, the cylinder breaks prematurely, giving you an artificially low-strength reading. Your concrete was actually perfectly fine, but your field logistics and your transportation methods failed the test. To fix this, you need the right tools, the right molds, and the right transportation protocol. Today, we are breaking down exactly how to use 3 essential products that every testing technician needs in their arsenal, and then I will give you the foolproof blueprint for transporting them safely. Let's start with the absolute workhorse of the concrete testing industry. Product number 1, the 4x8-inch concrete test cylinders. Specifically, the gray cylinder molds that come in a massive, cost-effective case of 96. Why gray? It is not just an aesthetic choice. That opaque gray plastic actually serves a highly critical, functional purpose out in the field. It blocks out direct ultraviolet sunlight. When you leave test cylinders on a hot job site, the sun beating down on black or clear molds can create a severe greenhouse effect, artificially spiking the internal curing temperature, accelerating hydration unnaturally, and completely ruining your test data. These gray molds prevent that thermal spike, keeping your curing environment stable. Here is the simple, standard-compliant explanation of how to use these 4x8-inch molds. First, place the mold on a level, rigid, and vibration-free surface. You are going to fill this cylinder in 2 equal layers. Pour your concrete sample into the mold until it is half full. Next, take your standard tamping rod and rod the concrete 25 times. You want to distribute those rodding strokes evenly over the cross-section of the mold, making sure you penetrate just to the bottom of the layer. Once rodded, take your rubber mallet and tap the outside of the mold 10 to 15 times. This action forcefully closes the voids left by the tamping rod and releases any trapped air bubbles. Now add your second layer, overfilling the mold slightly. Rod this top layer another 25 times, making sure your rod penetrates roughly 1 inch into the bottom layer to bind them together. Tap the sides again 10 to 15 times. Finally, take your strike-off bar, level the top surface so it is perfectly smooth, and secure the tight-fitting lid to prevent vital moisture loss. You are done. Moving on to product number 2, the 3x6-inch concrete sample cylinders, which come in a highly convenient case of 80. Now you might be asking yourself, if the 4x8 is the industry standard, why do I need a 3x6-inch version? The answer comes down to 2 critical factors: aggregate size and raw physical logistics. You use the 3x6-inch cylinders when your concrete mix design features a smaller nominal maximum aggregate size, typically when the aggregate is 1 inch or smaller. But the real magic of the 3x6 cylinder is the sheer logistical advantage it provides to your testing technicians. A standard 4x8 cylinder filled with concrete weighs roughly 8 to 9 pounds. A 3x6 cylinder weighs less than half of that. When you are pouring, lifting, and transporting dozens of samples a day, that weight reduction absolutely saves the backs and knees of your technicians. It also takes up significantly less space in your curing boxes and in the back of your transport vehicle. How do you use the 3x6-inch cylinders? The process is very similar, but mathematically scaled down. You still place the mold on a flat level surface. You still fill the mold in 2 equal layers. You still rod each layer 25 times using a smaller diameter tamping rod suitable for this size, and you still tap the sides 10 to 15 times with your mallet to release those trapped air voids. You strike off the top smoothly and cap it tight. Because you get 80 in a case, you can supply a busy job site for weeks without constantly needing to reorder inventory, keeping your testing operations moving seamlessly. Finally, we arrive at product number 3, the 2x4-inch concrete test cylinders. Packaged tightly in a high-volume case of 84. These are your precision testing instruments. You do not use these for your standard, large aggregate structural concrete pours. Instead, these 2x4 molds are specifically engineered and designed for testing masonry mortar, high-strength structural grout, and specialized fine aggregate concrete mixes. When you are working with masonry walls or setting heavy structural steel-based plates, the grout you use is the lifeline of the structure. It needs to be tested with just as much rigorous precision as the concrete slab. How do you use the 2x4-inch cylinders? The concept remains the same, but the execution requires a delicate touch. Because the mold is so small, you fill the cylinder in 2 equal lifts, just like the larger sizes. However, depending on the specific ASTM standard you are following for mortar or grout, you will use a much smaller rodding tool or even a modified puddling technique to consolidate the material. You rod or puddle the material to remove the large air pockets, gently tap the exterior of the mold, strike the top off so it is perfectly flush with the rim of the plastic, and seal it immediately. With 84 molds per case, this product is absolutely perfect for high-volume mix design testing in the laboratory, or for massive masonry projects where you need to take continuous batch samples throughout a long workday. Transporting concrete test cylinders safely is not just about being careful, it is about respecting the science of the material. Whether you are using the workhorse gray 4x8s, the space-saving 3x6s, or the precision 2x4s, the way you handle, mold, and transport these samples dictates the structural integrity of your entire project. Do not let bad field logistics ruin perfectly good concrete. If you want to equip your team with the highest quality testing molds, curing boxes, and transportation racks on the market, you need to head over to Certified MTP. We have all 3 of the cylinder cases we talked about today, plus everything else you need to run a flawless testing operation. Click the link in the description below to grab your cases right now. If this video helped you understand field logistics a little bit better, do me a massive favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the Certified MTP channel for more industry deep dives, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Stop damaging your samples, stay safe on the job site, and I will see you in the next video.